I was living as if I'm living in Nigeria, not knowing there's boundary, there's rule. You know, there's some things I do and get away from here. I couldn't get away from there. I didn't even knew that pedophile and underage. You know, when you go there, you see them plumpy, you think they are 18 to. You don't even ask.
Was she underage?
I didn't know. I never knew that she was underage. She was my lawyer.
So at the time she was.
She was underage. She was
Okay.
16.
She was 16.
16. My coach, so sad for him, may so recipe, was driving a Beetle. You know, seeing his player coming with a car like 505, he becomes a little bit envious or maybe jealousy in a way, but not like a father figure. He told me that no player is allowed. Listen to me, tell.
Mm.
No player is allowed to park car in the camp. So on my way after going to do my small, enjoyment, where will I park the car?
Exactly.
Now I now went to my friend off Bode Thomas there to park. It's a close, Jalopon close, where ACV used to. You go know ACV.
Yes.
Jalopon, that is a close. You cannot go out, cannot come back. That's how they ambush me. Because if the coach allows the car to be parked in the camp, all this wouldn't have happened.
Some would argue, Etim, that why are footballers special anyway? Because when you were playing football, you were earning so much
Making money, you didn't invest.
You didn't invest.
Blah, blah, blah,
now
blah, blah.
things have gone awry. You want the government to come to your aid. There's nothing special about footballers.
I know what you mean, but at least we sacrificed for this country. Even Okparaji played and died on the pitch for this country. Is that not like soldier? Soldier, don't they have their pension? Don't they have their retirement, whatever? So what's special about we can also have that kind of treatment? I think we should do renewal hope and go and meet Tinubu before we die finish, Charlie. But
Welcome to the Playzone podcast.
Welcome to another edition of the Playzone podcast. My name is Charles Anazodo. I am super excited today. Now you're wondering why? Well, because our guest today I've been searching for over 3 years, yeah? And finally, we get an opportunity to bring him into the studio here on the Playzone podcast. Our guest is a super talented footballer. The very best, I can say, that has ever played for this country. And he used to play in the local league, began his career with Oran Rovers, if I'm correct, yeah? Moved on to Iwanyawo National, played for Calabar Rovers, yeah? His resume is unbelievable. Played at the Under-20 World Cup for the Flying Eagles, yeah? Played also for the senior national team of this country. Undeniably, the very best to have ever worn the number 10 jersey. Do you have any idea who I'm talking about today on the Playzone podcast? For those of a younger generation, I'm sure you do not. But if you're maybe 40 and older, you might have an idea. It's none other than the very man himself, Etim Esin, is with us here on the Playzone podcast. Etim, how are you?
I'm good, Charlie. Nice having me on your channel. It's been a while, quite a while. But
It's been ages, man.
So we just thank God. First and foremost, we thank God for making it possible for me to come to your show. And recently we lost another great number 10, like you mentioned, Henry Nwosu. May
Yes.
so rest in peace. So thank God for life. And, well, by and large, we should see how we can move a Nigerian football forward. World Cup, we no go. Nation Cup, voila. So where are we?
In my introduction, I mentioned that number 10 jersey.
Yeah.
You wore that jersey with a lot of pride.
Definitely.
Yeah. How heavy was it to wear a jersey like that, knowing that superstars around the world,
Wear
Diego
number 10.
Maradona, Pelé, Zico, Michel Platini,
all the
players,
greats, all the
iconic
greats,
footballers.
all the
Yes.
great. At least Henry Nwosu gave me inspiration after 1980 AFCON. As the youngest player, I was in secondary school there as a young, and I just dreamt. I said, oh God, one day I want to be like Henry Nwosu, which a lot of you have your idol, you look up to, you want to be like, and all that. So at least after Henry, I still remember an incident with Henry Nwosu, 88. Was it against Gabon? They brought number 10 jersey for me. Henry Nwosu was in the dressing room. I just respect myself carry the number 10.
Give
Jesse,
him.
go give Henry wants to look for another 7 or 8 or whatever, number 12 or so.
Yeah.
And I won number 12 that day. So that's the pedigree. And then JJ came again and took over globally and really make us proud that we won number 10. So JJ too is an enigma of number 10. Then after JJ, I think
Mikel Obi.
Mikel
Yeah.
Obi. So I think we are still looking for that creative, talented midfield player, which is very. Lukman comes to that, but not really for Nigeria. Maybe for his club side, he does that very well. But when it comes to Nigeria, I think we still need that creativity in the middle of the park.
But when you look at today's football, does it really require a traditional number 10 these days?
Definitely it requires, because I mean he's the architect, he's the magician of the squad. He make things that even if he doesn't score, he can lay an assist and make things happen in the game. So if you have that in your squad, you will really, really have that confidence. I know, number 10, like me, Henry, JJ, if we hold ball, the opponent will be intimidated. You have to intimidate the opponent first and let them know you have this kind of player. You can drag 2 or 3 players to come for you, and you create space and lay a pass somebody. So I think we still need that in our national team, which we don't really
Okay,
have.
now I mentioned 4 players who wore that jersey number 10. Yeah, you, JJ, John Mikel Obi, Henry Nwosu. Of all of these players listed, these 3 players listed alongside you, were you the best?
I think I should put it in different eras. I can't say I was the best, because I think JJ took it more globally. World Cup, Atlanta, and all that. So JJ really took it to another level. The level Henry, me didn't take it to. Sad though, Henry didn't go professional at his peak. I even heard Bayern Munich fly him to Germany. He came back. That the winter was too. He couldn't stay. So opportunity like that, nobody except the late Keshi that came and opened the doors in Belgium for us to repair. I think among all these names you mentioned, I think JJ.
No, I'm not talking about, taking the jersey global, because the likes of JJ had the opportunity to play at the FIFA World Cup,
yes, right.
on 2 occasions,
Three
occasions even. But I'm talking in terms of the skill.
Definitely.
The ability
in my
on the
era,
ball.
I think in my era, I think I was the best. In my era, I don't think. In my era, I think it was just. I have my own era, so I don't think anybody. And in local league, I was the most expensive player signed on by Iwayamu. 505 that I was shot was given by Iwayamu. I regretted accepting 505. So all those things came with the level on your era where you were taking Nigerian football to. If I can drive 505 evolution as of, was it 87? What should Nigerian local league players be driving now?
Yeah, the reason I try to make this comparison, even though you're trying to be modest, but
definitely. Definitely.
the reason I'm trying to make the comparison is because the late legendary commentator, Ernest Okonkwo, when you were playing, labeled you as the African Maradona.
Definitely.
I don't know of any Nigerian player until today
that gets to
that has been equated with any international superstar around the world.
I know.
And based on that, it's amazing, really.
I know, because it was my era. It was my era. And then he gave all the great Nigerians name.
Yes.
From Modegbami, Chairman, Owoblo, the boss, Keshi. There is no Nigerian, unless you don't play in that national stadium, Surulere. Every great Nigerian player that comes out from the league, that man, may so rest in peace, has a name for you. He has a name. And that name will stick with you and your career till your lifetime. What a magician he was. He was on top of his game then.
A name that stuck with you outside of the African Maradona was also the Enfant Terrible.
Infant Terrible.
Why?
Because I was infant terrible of Nigerian football.
Were you stubborn?
I was not really stubborn. I was fighting for something that some people misunderstood me for stubbornness. Like when we were in Ota, camping in Ota, I have to say, this is not the level. I did see Belgium national team the way. We have to call SB Williams and Como then, and they move us to Sheraton. And Obasanjo sent for me. I didn't go. That will move Super Eagles from Ota Farm to Sheraton. That's how Super Eagles started. And that one causes a friction between me and Westerhoff. I was fighting for something. Even my teammates are ticket back to Belgium. Keshi will be on as a captain. You know, he was always a gentleman. I was be the one that will show up and shout out, "Where is that ticket, man? How is that bonus? How will?" Sometimes we leave back to Belgium without anything. Sometimes they will say Keshi when we come back for the next game. So that was the way they misinterpret me for infantile.
Because you were fighting for your
for,
rights.
for my no, not even for my
the
colleagues,
team as
for
well.
my team. I didn't know I was a scapegoat that they would pick out.
So this issue around bonuses, allowances,
And it's
you
still
know,
going on till today.
it's
incredible.
incredible.
And it's unbelievable. It's still going on today that did deserve even volunteer to pay. So I think it's something that has to do with the administrative side of our football. We don't build for long term. Now we've not qualified for World Cup. What's the long term plan for next World Cup? Do we have that in a template? Where's the blueprint? I don't think we have it. Fire brigade approach. And we end up losing out.
Some people say that not qualifying for the FIFA World Cup, back to back, means that the players themselves do not realize
The importance.
of
think-
playing at such a major tournament. You're on record to have said that your greatest regret was not
being
playing
in World
at
Cup
the World
'94. And that led me to a lot of depression. I nearly committed suicide.
Wow.
But it was because he had a dream. '93, Abiola even promised you, let me win the election. You'll be you'll even captain the team to World Cup. So everything just, split this life in a split of second, things can just turn around. Abiola was locked up, ended up dead. World Cup was the only dream I have. Even late Peter Rufai, because he captained the team with Argentina when we played, said Maradona asked, "Where is your African Maradona?" So you can imagine how it was very painful for me at that time, because I wouldn't believe after 90 World Cup, 94 World Cup, I would not also be part of the squad. So that's why I went into drugs. I was so depressed that I went into drugs. I was smoking cocaine, becoming a madman, sort of. But God just revived your life because that wasn't your portion. That wasn't what He meant for you because of the people fail to understand that how big, how great, how I dreamt to play against Argentina, my idol, late Maradona. So you just see all the dreams shattered within you. So if I wasn't strong, try to build myself up again, could have been a different story.
But how does not realizing your potential, not seeing your dreams come to fruition, how does that lead you to doing hard drugs?
It's you are not in my shoes, so you wouldn't. It's very depressing. It puts you in a mental stage that you will not even. I couldn't recover till 94, 95, 96. After 2 years on drugs, I recovered 96 when Julius Berger. Thank God for Mr. Idama. He didn't pay me salary. There was a white man, John William, paying me salary. He refused to, because of the atom of stubbornness, that he would not pay me a salary. No match bonus. So the white chap, my manager, then picked that bill up. That's how I ended up playing for Berger. And that's why I was able to revive myself, because they say the hidden place is
The idle mind
mine
is
is
the
the
devil's
devil workshop.
yeah.
So I have to engage myself back to what I love, which is football. And thank God He gave me a platform to play for Berger. I think we won FA Cup. I helped them win FA Cup, our local FA Cup,
Yes.
96 or so, 97. So he's a man that really gave me a platform back. Because everybody didn't want to sign me. No club.
Why?
Because of
the situation with the drugs.
That's right. Nobody wanted to sign me. So he spelled that out. He's not going to pay me. He's not going to do this. So I said, don't worry about the payment. The white people are different, thinking differently from the man. Said, okay, if you not pay, I'll pick up. The man paid me salary for 2 years.
Wow.
So,
okay, we're going to come back to those issues because it just seems like we'll fast forward it. Let's go back in time just a little bit.
Yeah.
For those, because I always say here that on the Playzone podcast, what we try to do is tell the story of our heroes past.
That's right.
And also try and tell the stories of our heroes to come. Yeah? There's a lot of people now watching this who have no idea
who I
of
am,
who you are.
Because they were young then.
Of the magic that you brought
Definitely,
on the field of play,
Yeah, I know
which is why they nicknamed you the African Maradona.
Yeah, definitely.
How did it all begin for you? Oron Rovers up until...
until Calabar Rovers.
Tell us a story.
It's We were in Oron River, small Oron River, not as big as Calabar Rivers. Oron Youngsters, they used to call us. So our local FA to go and play fight, and they pair us with Calabar Rivers. And Calabar Rivers then was, top in our own league was top class. So I took that opportunity. I think I scored a hat trick. They didn't believe. Charles Bassey, may his soul rest in peace too.
Yes.
Late Charles Bassey.
Yeah.
From the secondary school straight to Calabar Rivers. I joined Calabar Rivers. One season, we moved to Flash Flamingo. Flash gave Charles Bassey a contract. And Charles Bassey said he cannot leave me, that I'm his best player, that I should go. I had no choice. I have to follow, who gave me opportunity. So I followed him to Benin, and we were in Flash. Then the young chaps after 85 Flying Eagles in Moscow.
Yes.
Osaro Babai, for all the Siasia, Waidi Akani, they were the star generation on that. Our own was 87. There was it. So Osakwe bring a lot of those stars from to Flash. That's how we became a threat to NMB and Bendel Insurance in Benin. Because it was only NMB and Bendel Insurance. And for it to beat NMB and Bendel Insurance in Benin, when we beat Bendel, we didn't leave the stadium. I was the only one allowed to leave the stadium. It's not easy. They locked down, with their fans, staunch fans that time, Bendel, Rangers shooting that time. We didn't leave the stadium. They locked us down till we come leave. Then from there, Iwayan gave me an offer. An offer I couldn't refuse. Because Abiola, when I wanted to sign for Abiola, he's in a meeting in London. He's trying to fight for South Africa appetite. He was busy man that time. I just went to see him. Why he invited me to come. I just went to see why, and he handed me over the key of 505. Sure.
Wow.
Now so it be. I quickly signed for, and was it 30,000 sign-on fee that time? You know how much was that?
It was a lot of money at the time.
I said the highest sign-on fee was me. So I just said, okay, fine. I'll sign for you, sir. And I still like Abiola. I didn't play for Abiola.
At the time you signed for Iwanyanwu and he gave you that car, was it the norm for club owners to give players cars at the time? Was it because there was something special about you?
That's what I wanted to go to. There was something special about me. It wasn't a norm. Who was driving? Highest was Beetle. We were managing that time. Who gave 505 was like a big...
It was like today's Rolls Royce, that kind of thing. Yeah.
So at a tender age, young man to drive that kind of a car, it was just a stepping stone for Nigerian, to also encourage Nigerian footballers, the young ones coming, that at least there's something good in this game called football. So I think it inspired a lot of people to start getting involved. If a team can drive 5F, especially when I was shot with the car, even make the car more even popular. So at the point I came back from junior, I wanted to replace the same car for me. I said no. That's how I left for Belgium.
You're signing with, is it Genk of Belgium?
Genk,
yeah. How did that happen? From the stories I hear is that you were playing with the Flying Eagles.
That's right. And I was
and Genk
Belgium.
Was in Nigeria playing some sort of friendly.
No, they came for friendly pre-season.
And you mesmerized.
Sponsored by Pepsi Cola then.
Yeah.
And then I think I scored a hat-trick yet. We played 1 year and played 1 in Benin. I scored 3 here, I scored 2 there. So they now picked me. This was 86, so I was a professional 86. I signed for them 86, me and Eguavon. Because Eguavon was dropped because of the age, whatever. He was a captain before Willie Okpara took over. So they picked me and Eguavon from the squad as a captain. And so Eguavon went there first. I said, okay, after the Junior World Cup, I will come over. Pending how it goes. I didn't win well, but you know what happened in Chile 87?
I know what happened.
Everybody expected us with all the
star players in the squad.
Because we were on top of our game then.
Top-rated coach.
And 86, Super Eagles didn't qualify for Nation Cup. So we were the one representing national engagement, friendly match, because Super Eagles, they say, okay, Flying will go and represent. So we went there, we didn't, maybe they could have dropped me from that squad. Maybe the chaps could have done.
Okay, let's just hang on a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah.
This team was coached by the late Etim Esin. Yeah. there was a lot of expectation on the shoulders of this team because it had the best players that the country could produce at the time. You got the 505 from Iwayan National.
Yeah.
You were in camp.
Yep.
Yeah?
Yeah.
What happened when you got the car? You decided to break camp rules.
Rules, definitely. Youthful exuberant, my brother.
What happened? Tell us. Because there are people watching now, like I said, who know nothing about you. So tell us the story. What happened?
What happened is that, my coach, so sad for him, he's so recipe, was driving a Beetle. You know, seeing his player coming with a car like 505, it becomes a little bit envious or maybe jealousy in a way, but not like a father figure. He told me that no player is allowed, listen to me, Charlie, no player is allowed to park car in the camp. So on my way, after going to do my small, enjoyment, where will I park the car?
Exactly.
Now I now went to my friend off Bode Thomas there to park. It's a close, Jalopon close, where ACB used to. You know ACB?
Yes.
Jalopon, that is a close. You cannot go out, cannot come back. That's how they ambushed me. And because if the coach allows the car to be parked in the camp, all this wouldn't have happened.
So that night, you broke camp rules.
I broke camp rules.
You went to a club to
definitely.
enjoy yourself.
But coming back, where will you park the car?
So
Because
while,
coach said,
so while you were in Jalapa Close,
to park in my
that's when
friend-
you were accosted
that's
by the
why I was
robbers.
shot, yeah.
So why did they shoot you?
Because they wanted the car.
It wasn't because you resisted.
No, it wasn't. They just wanted the car. I threw the key for them and they still fired me. It's just for the car. They did, and they had hospital. I think I had one later that we are the one that shot you. We're sorry, we didn't know it was you.
That's the robbers.
I don't know if
They
it was.
had no idea you
They
were the
didn't. They
one.
had no idea it was me. You understand me? So it was just a camp rule I break and the policy the coach put down on the ground. Then if you allow me park car in the camp, maybe it wouldn't have happened.
Well, if you hadn't broken camp rules, maybe
That
this
wouldn't
wouldn't have happened.
too. So it's both way. I broke the camp rule and the coach tells me he really want me. You know what you did to
But
me?
why did you break camp rules, Etim? Was it because you believed that you were a star player? There's nothing that could happen that would drop you from the team.
Yeah, it comes like that. It comes to the territory, like what is happening to Simena. It comes with that territory. If you're star boy of a squad or a team, or that I don't know how will I put it. It will be in you. It can't leave you. That
Arrogance?
that little arrogance. I'm unstoppable. Nothing, and that's where we always make mistake. That's where we get it wrong. You understand? Because with the twinkle of an eye like this,
Anything can
injury wise,
Yeah.
or your career can be over.
Yeah.
So that is the mistake the young generation, and with my upcoming documentary, that's a fact I'm going to be analyzing so that they can learn from my mistakes. Because it can happen. It can just happen like this and the whole thing gone. You don't know, you can get your bearing back.
So while you were lying in the hospital bed, I remember very clearly, Nigerians did not think at the time that the Flying Eagles could succeed without you.
Definitely.
So there was a clamor
For me
for
to
your speedy recovery, and doctors were doing everything
Everything.
that they could to make sure that you got well.
Well, I know.
Did you, in your mind, did you think that you were deserving of a place in the team?
At a certain point, I didn't think I'd this because I wasn't that mental or physically fit. This was like 3 weeks to, 4 weeks to the Junior World Cup.
Yeah.
And you got shot, and you still went ahead to make it. So on my side, I was eager to make it. But at the same time, physically, you're even scared playing your normal game because of the bullet in your psychologically affected me too. And then your teammates, some refused to even release it. Only late in Ekon, one of my young brother that was in the squad, that was even trying to throw passes to me. Others just lock up, because my teammates in the camp was, when you're on top there and then something like that happens to you, nobody expected me to be in the squad. But just of a sudden, I was in the squad. So there was small kind of enmity. Some wasn't talking to me. Some wasn't even being friendly like, they used to be. So it was only Okonene because of language, Calabar language power that was always interactive. The rest lock up in a way. Psychology, you can sense it. We can sense when people doesn't. It still make them. Which kind of human being it is?
Yes.
We think say you know go make them. We still make So he affected me psychologically and affected my game, and we didn't do so well. But I thought if I would have been dropped, the team could have done better. And if I could have been dropped, they don't do better. They could have said because
you were not there.
not. So it's an
What
double edged.
was the late coach? What did he say to you at the time when you came back to the squad?
He was very, very not happy with me because he has been warning me. He has been, he told me once that I escaped Tarila Akoro one-time headache. Is yours now. That he doesn't have that power, that energy for me. So he tried everything as a father that if I continue like this, my career will not go to the peak. He advised me like, but that time youthful, you go enter here,
You go come out for that side.
and all what he advised me came to pass, Charlie.
Yes.
It came to pass. So I'll still give him my kudos because he likes me like a son, but I wasn't that good son he wanted me to be. So that was just my problem with Coach Etim Esin.
Okay, so after you mesmerized Genk in that friendly game, the club were attracted by your expertise.
I signed here immediately.
You signed
I
right here.
86 years. I signed for them.
When you got there, what challenges did you face as a black man coming to Europe for the first time?
A lot of challenges, culture-wise, even food-wise, and then weather. Their winter and all that, and then what will I? They expect. When you don't. Their own culture is different from you. I was still acting as if I was the Nigerian lifestyle. I'm still, there's a boundary, there's law, there's this, there's that. So it really affected me in a way to adjust and fit in. Even when all my colleagues, Keshi, Guavon, Sami, they all they were with their wives in Belgium. I also tried to bring a woman but I was too young for that kind of commitment.
How old were you at the time?
21.
21.
To commit to, you understand?
Yes.
I still wanted to see
So your wild oats, more or less.
I see. Had it been I calm down like what Kesha advised me, get a woman, your life will be more stable. So I think a lot of things that I learned a lesson from. That if I have time to bring.
So what were you doing in Belgium at the time? Because were you clubbing? Were you dating different girls?
Definitely. That is the more reason I got involved with the rape issue, because I was living as if I'm living in Nigeria, not knowing there's boundary, there's rule. Some things I do and get away from here, I couldn't get away from there. So that's why
like what?
You have already know what put me in trouble in Belgium.
It's a story that we heard.
Nah, because you didn't.
Did you really rape the girl?
No, it was my girlfriend. At least Momoni came and Momoni Alao
Yes.
flew in and the girl gave offspring. I was exonerated. It was a white offspring. Because then I didn't know how deep racism was. You understand me? I didn't know how deep racism was, and I didn't even knew that pedophile and underage. When you go there, you see them plumpy. You think they are 18 to. You don't even.
Was she underage?
I didn't know. I never knew that she was underage. She was my lawyer.
So at the time, she was.
She was underage. She was
Okay.
16.
She was 16.
16. You understand? And I never knew. Because I wasn't awareness to. I wasn't aware. If I was aware, it wouldn't have come. But I wasn't aware. Let's call it spade a spade.
Yeah.
So that's what caught me up. And then my lawyer even argued with me that I shouldn't have accepted, because I didn't know who she was underage. So I accepted when I was writing that I slept with her, that she's my girlfriend. That was where I really nailed myself in again.
Yeah.
Because had I known, I would have just said, I don't know her. I haven't slept with her.
So why did she accuse you of rape? Did something go wrong between the both of you?
No, because I was about going to Portugal. She wanted me to marry her and take her Braga, to take her to Portugal.
Okay.
That's where the problem started. Benfica
You
wanted.
didn't want to take her.
I wanted to go and enjoy another life. Charlie, in Portugal. So that was where the friction, and I never knew it's going to come. These white folks, I never knew it's going to hurt her to that point.
Yes.
You understand me? So all these things we learn after our mistakes.
Your football club didn't show you any support?
They showed me support, but it was late. It was a late support. Because I flew from Portugal back to Nigeria. I didn't bring anything from Belgium.
You left Belgium to go to Portugal.
Yeah.
And then from Portugal, you came straight to Nigeria.
Yeah, that's when I was in Portugal when they convicted me absentially.
Okay.
In Belgium.
And from there you flew
to Nigeria.
With nothing.
With nothing.
You left everything in Belgium. Okay, so when you left Belgium and you came back to Nigeria, it was majorly about trying to get your career back on track. Yeah?
Yep.
Which club did you sign for? I don't know why I keep getting this impression you signed for Eagle Cement.
No.
At
it
some
was
point.
after how do they call it? After Julius Berger, then I went to Eagle Cement in Port Harcourt.
Okay.
Berger was 96. I think Eagle 7 was 97.
Okay.
98, 97. Then Shooting Stars, 99.
You played for Shooting Stars?
Definitely. That's what most Nigerians...
Are you joking?
I'm not joking. I played for Shooting Stars 99.
For how long?
Just one season. It wasn't even up to a season. One season. Because I left them and went to Turkey to sign a deal. Then I had another injury in Turkey. Then I came back, 99. So I think a lot of people doesn't know I play for Shooting.
I had no idea you even played in Turkey.
So there are a lot of things a lot of people didn't do. So I tried to get back, but the body was willing. How did you say it? But the soul wasn't carrying
just wasn't
me anymore. Because I was playing at my last with regrets.
Regrets?
Yeah.
Why?
Because a lot of things have passed me by in football. How will I catch it up?
You didn't go to the FIFA World Cup. That's one regret.
That's right.
Yeah.
AFCON,
you didn't play at AFCON.
Another regret.
For a player of your talent that would be expected.
I always play the qualifier.
The qualifiers,
But when the make tournament comes, either the club will tell you, we can't release you and Siasia. Siasia has to go, you have to stay. Maybe the top small allowance for you for staying.
And you chose to stay?
Naively.
Naively, yeah. Because you would have preferred to represent your country.
Rather than that. But naively, as I say, I prefer to stay because it was two of us. Why don't you let Siasia stay and let me go?
Or why not let both of you go?
Oh, let both of us. But then their FIFA stuff didn't come to play there. So a club has the power to hold you back.
To withhold the player. Yeah.
So it's
so that means you were of more importance to the club than Siasia was. They could afford to let him go and not you.
In a way. I don't want to say that how do they call it?
No, but obviously
that's what it was because I was more. The club needed me, and they didn't. How will I put it? Siasia can go so far as they will be comfortable. They will be okay with that. I'm not trying to say I was better than Siasia. We played. He was a striker. I was a midfielder.
Yeah.
So it's different rule. So I think by and large that's what the price I paid.
Okay. Your parents, your father, was an educationist.
Built a school.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Even had a school in Oron.
Technical college.
Yeah?
Yeah.
You don't come, because the general belief is that players are underprivileged.
Background,
poor background and everything. But that's not your background.
I know. That's the difference. That's why some things in football was a little bit different for me. I didn't come from that. Mercedes that they used carry me go school.
Your parents were very comfortable.
Yeah, very. Land Rover did it, like Range Rover. Now Volvo did it. All my siblings were born in England. They are all in England. Now me, Krukere and Combo. So they're all in England. Michael, Raymond, they're all in England. For you to see the platform. So my dad really wanted me to go to school. He didn't. Playing football, he thought you were an armed robber, you're going to rob, So it was even when I was shot, 87, that my father has to, the news, the whole Nigeria was as if they're going to do, they're going to have an holiday. That's when my father knew, this football. Now my picking and every night,
Yeah.
That's when he came to the hospital. That's when I even make peace with my father because of the gunshot. Finally came to the hospital. We make peace. Prayed for me. So that is. He never wanted me to play football. He had a school. He was a advisor to Governor Isong, NPN, politics a little bit, philanthropies, education. So we were well-to-do family. Not that I was struggling. I wasn't struggling for anything. So I think that's the big difference between my background in football and other people's background in football. Because if you look at the variety of players in Africa, it's always one sad story or the other to become a great footballer. Because mine wasn't a sad story. Mine was just like a rebel. I wanted to rebel, break out. And even when my dad took my siblings to London, I supposed to follow go London. No. Charlie, these people drop me. They say if I go, I will run away. Maybe I for run go play for England for favor me. So they dropped me. I didn't go. So that trip really pained me. So I wanted something in return to also make me reach this London, make me reach this America, make me reach. And the only platform I had was football.
Yeah.
So that was my anger with my father. I will carry my brothers go London, follow carry me.
I hear you say that, maybe if you'd gone to the UK, you would have played for the England national team.
I wouldn't come back. I wouldn't come back with them. I wouldn't. I know my time.
Do you, having said that, do you have any regrets wearing the national team colours? You think that playing for Nigeria didn't give you the necessary exposure and maybe even wealth that you clamored for?
In a way. So you don't blame all these chaps trying to get shot to play for England and other countries, because after your retirement here, what do you fall back to? Apparently, you're growing up, your kids are growing up, they're watching you struggling. How would they want to, get to the same trade that their father does? Because, I asked Sheikh Nodegbami one day, Big Sheikh, how come your kids doesn't want to play football? Big Sheikh looked at me and laughed, said to him, I've tried my best for this country. My son even sees as I'm struggling. So he doesn't want him to struggle like him. Let him get his education. That's what he replied me. Same with Felix and Wolabi. Because when I meet my seniors, my elders are like the 18 Sylvanus Okpara. You see his tall boy, if he come here, his son is tall. I asked him when we did tribute to the Lex legend that died, Air Peace guy did a small tribute to them. I asked Sylvanus, how come your son does? He said to him, I beg you, make he go school first.
Isn't that sad? Isn't that sad?
It's very, very sad. A great player like Okocha, why is your son not following your footsteps? Look at Abedi Pele. Look at George Weah. At least something will be there. You see your father great, you want to be great too in his footsteps. Now you see your father struggling. You want to no. I don't think that gets stressed.
So playing for the Super Eagles is not beneficial.
It's not, in a way. It's not. But after retirement, what do you fall back to? What platform has they make there for us to fall back to? It can be a poetry, it can be a technical, it can be in a technical department. There's everywhere they can, coordinator or team manager, anywhere they can make you have a sustainable income, my brother. Out here, somebody when not even play football will come and become a team manager, and you are there. So where's the encouragement?
Have you in any way tried reaching out to the Akwa Ibom State FA, any high-ranking personnel?
I have, even till the governor, I have. Would them even send me the letter to commissioner to address my issue? He dumped my file. So that's how difficult it is. So I don't know how to put it. A whole me in my whole state Akwa Ibom, a whole Etim African Maradona, you can't draft something for him to have him sustain his life. Everything I try. I even tried to be bringing my club with the stadium for pre-season to come and be doing economy-wise, tourism-wise, it will make money. And that's how they pick me. And from there, this club can pick 1 or 2 players from Aqua United. And from there, without costing anything, you people turn that one down to, what else do you want me to do, my brother?
Somebody might be watching, somebody in authority might be watching this now
I know what you
and
mean.
asking, okay, so what does Etim Esin want us to do? What would be your response?
I can be a chairman of Aqua United. At least Kanu Wankwo was chairman of Enyimba. I can be team manager of a club. I can be coordinator. I can be a spokesperson of a club. I think that's not too much.
Have you tried coaching?
No, it's not. I don't have passion for. I rather scout. I do scouting with my foreign agency partners. We do scouting. They come to Nigeria. We scout. Maybe long term, 6 months, 1 year. Small benefit go reach you. Small commission go reach you. That's how I'm surviving. If I be coach, I'll be losing 10-0, 5-0, 20. Charlie,
No, but we see ex-internationals abroad.
I
yeah,
know, being
the Wayne Rooney's,
I know.
and all the whatnots.
The platform is there for them.
Michael Owen,
All right. Carrick.
punditry.
Of
Have you been approached by any TV station? Come do the Africa Cup of Nations.
No.
You come do the FIFA World Cup, the NPFL.
I don't know what happened. Since High TV, I used to do.
You were on High TV.
I was
saw
on
that,
High
yeah.
TV. So when you go, this one say they were their part, they were their compete. How does that concern me? They were their competitors.
So because you worked on High TV, you can't work on this other channel. That's what they say.
That is what they say. And ITV has packed up for how long now,
It's
my
been
brother?
years.
A few ages. Tony Suba is no more. So what's the problem? Is it that I'm different? Is it that my English is a little bit more polished than others? What's in Etim Esin that you can't give him a platform? So sometimes I wonder, I just sat down and said, God time is the best. So far I'm alive, breathing. Something definitely will happen along the line. I would have been dead, gone long ago. But God has a reason of keeping you going, keeping you alive. How many of my mates have gone and you're still here?
Talking about mates that have gone, Peter Rufai died recently.
Yeah.
The man you spoke of, Henry
Nwosu,
Nwosu,
yeah,
Charles
definitely.
Bassi,
Those were my even elder.
Yeah.
Yakini, Keshi,
Rashidi Yakini,
Uche
Keshi,
Okafor.
Uche Okafor. These are legendary footballers.
Thompson Olea.
Most recently, Henry Nwosu.
Nwosu, okay.
And the sad story, of his state governments not doing the necessary.
Definitely.
The Lagos state governor had to bring him from Delta to Lagos.
Yeah.
And of recent, his family are asking that funds be raised to help them bury Henry Nwosu.
Can you imagine?
How sad does that make you?
It's
feel?
it's very pathetic. It doesn't work. That is why you come in again, remind me playing for Nigeria. For all what Henry Nwosu played for, whatnot, is this how it's ending up? So it's very, very sad and pathetic. It doesn't have to come to this. But can somebody try to make a change? Can somebody try to make a change? They look the other way. It doesn't. If Delta can do that, Imo State can do that. Now burial now. They are trying to tell us that when the family fix the burial, we all will come to worry.
Some would argue, Etim, that why are footballers special anyway? Because when you were playing football, you were earning so much
Making money, you didn't invest.
You didn't invest.
Blah, blah, blah,
now
blah, blah.
things have gone awry. You want the government to come to your aid. There's nothing special about footballers.
I know what you mean, but at least we sacrificed for this country. Even Okparaji played and died on the pitch for this country. Is that not like soldier? Soldier, don't they have their pension? Don't they have their retirement, whatever? So what's special about we can also have that kind of treatment? I think we should do Renewal Hope and go and meet Tinubu before we die finish, Charlie. But Renewal Hope should also touch ex-international. They should put 2 World Cup now. I think presidency should, or Sheiti, you are more close to Sheiti.
No, I'm not.
Oh, you have to
No, I'm
try
not.
your City
not.
Boy movement. We have to let Sheyi know the problem of ex-inter. Before we die, finish, man. It's pathetic. So, some of those awareness, school, most of us know to go school education. Whereas we are not all that exposed and all that. If you like education and exposure, life can be very difficult.
Do you have any regrets that you didn't get the kind of education that your father wanted you to? Because
Definitely.
now you would have fallen back on...
I will have swept my certificate.
Yes.
Definitely, I do have that. I think my father saw it. My father saw it before all that, you know. As a father, you will know that this football is just temporary. You have to hold something that at least you can sweep, clean your certificate and fall back to and do something. That's what I'm regretting now. Because I mean, I could have still, even when that was coming, I still thought of doing something. Education-wise, get something or beyond this generation of internet, get it online lecture. And if it's a BA for communication or football management, something within our football circle.
It's still not too
It's
late.
not. That's what I wanted to say. It's never too late because I still want to have that. Because when you see a sibling, this one lawyer, this one doctor, this one surgeon, this one. Well, they support
How
me.
about these brothers that you speak of? Have they in any way tried to
No,
get
no,
you back on track?
they are my supporting link in a way.
Okay.
When all breaking down, they are my supporting link. I don't know if you know what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, I do.
That's why some people doesn't know how you survive.
Yes.
Because I fall back to, because most of them are my senior. You understand? I was a junior one. I'm junior to them. So you want your junior brother to die, they will just laugh and they will show support. That's just it. Support that outsider will not show. Your bloodline can still show for you, you know?
You've got two children.
Yeah.
Yeah, boy and a girl.
A boy and a girl. Magda, a graduate, a daughter is youth service. Still trying to get her a job. Junior is only 15, so...
Do you looking back at your life and what you've done, do you feel fulfilled?
I wasn't a graduate. At least I have a daughter who is a graduate.
Exactly.
At least that's an achievement.
Yeah.
You know, if nothing, because I did everything to make my kids go to school and graduate, which really make me proud of. So I think that keeps me going. At least I achieve. If I didn't achieve, go to World Cup. At least I achieved. My daughter is a graduate, did youth service. Maybe want to go do masters now, and that's it. What else do I want?
All right, let's talk about the Super Eagles. Yeah. Back to back, not qualifying for the FIFA World Cup. I don't know if to say that's a matter that's gone by. Maybe we shouldn't talk about that.
We should still think about
You know,
that.
but when you look at it and what makes up the Super Eagles of today, are you in favor of or against the idea of having foreign-born players in the national team? Because a lot of people say that players we have today don't have that passion that you guys had back in the day.
We were local breed here. The foreign ones doesn't know the tradition, the die hard that they look. We still have local league here. Our top scorer might not even be invited to Super Eagles. Am I right?
Maybe that's because the league is not exactly of what it used to be,
back
in the day.
You can use that as an excuse, but nowhere in the world that a top scorer in their league doesn't get invited to the national team. So I think if you look, all of us here, all the great stars from Nigeria were from the local league. West have made it from the local league. Came here, pick Omokachi, pick Finidi, pick Emunike, pick all of them. Where was it? Local league here. So when you brought all these people from abroad mentality, their orientation, their mindset, let me just come and represent Nigeria and go. That deep culture, that deep passion that you felt for the pride of you're wearing Nigerian jersey. I don't think a lot of them carries them. I don't think they do. They come show up, wear jersey, their allowance is because you play for Nigeria, your profile is high, your contract is extended, you're okay. But Nigeria is not okay. Nigeria is suffering. For 90, Russia, not even we go last.
Yes.
Now you take another 4 years. Life of a footballer, forget, God forbid, injury. How old will Osimhen be in another 4 years? How old will Lukman be in another 4 years? So if you add that odds together, you start grooming people that will take over from Osimhen, people that will take over from Lukman now, and start building them to when the game is on, so we can qualify.
So it came as no surprise to you that we didn't win the AFCON.
Definitely.
It didn't.
It don't surprise me, definitely. We don't have that. Look at what Keshi did in South Africa.
2013. Yeah.
He brought in some local, because he has been there, done that, knows that. Without the influence of, as a big boss that they nickname him. He doesn't take rubbish from anybody, no order from anybody. He's a big boss of you. We need that kind of hand to get us somewhere, to get us to World Cup, to get us to win AFCON again. If we don't have that kind of hand in the hands of our coaching, technical department coaching, we're just gonna be last minute fire brigade approach, which not gonna. Other countries are stepping up. Look at Morocco, semi-finals in World Cup, which Pele predicted that it would have been Nigeria.
Nigeria,
You see, so that is how we are. Instead of we building, we are just. Charles, it's difficult sometimes because you talk from now till tomorrow, it won't make any change. Change has to come from the top. You give them ultimatum. If you don't qualify, you're gone. If you don't qualify, you're gone. I think somebody will sit up.
So you think this current board of the Football Federation should not be running, for the presidency
for the next
come
time.
September?
Definitely.
They should not.
I quite agree, definitely. Because what are they showing for? What are they there to show for? If we qualify for World Cup, win AFCON, I will 100% back them.
But is it fair to judge an administration by virtue of what they win? Shouldn't we be more concerned with an administration that is concerned with developing the game at the grassroots and growing?
That's
because it seems like everybody just thinks about the Super Eagles.
Because
if you don't win the AFCON, then you're not good enough.
No World Cup. But are we building our grassroots? That's another problem. Are we building? I've heard in Congo that their president has been jailed for so many years because of
corruption
of FIFA, whatever grant to develop grassroots football in Africa. Can that happen in Nigeria? I hope it will happen someday. I hope it will happen someday.
Is the Football Federation embezzling money
no.
given by FIFA to develop the game? You think?
Definitely. What about the project they abandoned? One in Escravos, one in Ilorin. Was it Ilorin? Or
in Kwara, yes.
Kwara, something like that. So from there, that can show you that I'm not trying to crucify anybody or criticize anybody because Amaju did his best. At least he did me surgery. This leg, I would have been a cripple now. Thank God for Amaju for helping do surgery, my brother. They said they put plastic here, redesigned the leg. I say thank God, Amaju. So, but on a personal note, I'm giving this. But on a professional note, he was in a position to really take our football up there. CAF, whatever, FIFA, whatever. So he was in a good position, but as we said earlier, some doesn't really have passion. You don't really have that. I don't know how to. You put it on a good prospect there to really drive our football to another level. What do we have in this country that bring us joy? Is it not only football? When we win like this, some people, Etim. I just remember say, they never call me for 2 years. For one match, Nigeria play well, win. You see one number call you, never call you for ages.
Yeah.
So that's what football galvanizes this country for. That's what football stands for us. So with all this technical department, let FIFA give us straight pass to World Cup now. So it's politics. Congo, wait. You technically are back. Nigeria, that not even go play the other one for Intercontinental. Just straight, put me in a group, I'll come and play in World Cup. Simple.
This CAF issue about, Morocco, Senegal, what do you think? I mean, you think CAF, because CAF right now is under fire.
Under pressure.
Everybody seems to think that Mosepe, made the wrong decision. But I've got to say this, Mosepe is not part of the disciplinary committee
or the
appeals board.
I know what
he's not part of them. So it's normal to always condemn
because
the man who's at the helm of affairs. I can understand that. But do you agree with what the appeals board did in giving the title to Morocco based on, the articles 83 and 84?
Well, that is article and all that. But I'm very confused about the technicality of that because it never happened anywhere in the world.
It doesn't mean it can't be right. I mean,
it can happen.
Is it too late ever to do the right thing?
I think if you see how the great African legend stood up against holding Senegal, because it become biased, like if it's the white Arab country trying to oppress the sub-Sahara Senegal.
Is that what it is?
I think that's what the whole thing turns out to look like.
Now it's become political.
And racial tendency. Because now you people projecting Morocco to host the next World Cup, Abi?
Yeah, they're looking. Yeah,
Yeah, they're looking
But
good
Africa, to be honest, Africa does deserve
to
another hosting
hosting,
right.
definitely, since 2010. So I think that is what I'm trying to see CAF projecting. You understand what I'm saying?
No, I don't actually. Because are you saying that CAF did what they did to aid Morocco in winning AFCON? Is that what you're saying?
In a way.
In a way.
In a way, in a way, child, in a way. Because I mean, somebody cannot take a cup back to his country, and after 3 months or how many, he says he should return the cup. It's unbelievable. All the great
No,
African.
but what if truly, Senegal broke the laws,
Technical,
the rules of the game?
I know. Then he might be right, but the world will not see it as a fair play. Not be FIFA they say fair play. The world will not look at it as that fair play. We are talking about the article. The one will look. They just want look at as if they rob Senegals of their. And I heard from the mother of the Moroccan captain, tell the son not to.
No, that's not true.
Yeah.
No, that's
It's
not true. That's just people making up. People are just making up stories
AI
everywhere.
generated.
That's not
But do
true.
you think Morocco will sincerely take the cup back? Do you really think that, Charlie?
I've spoken to a few lawyers. Yeah, I've read a few lawyers, their opinions, and they honestly think that CAS would rule in favor of Morocco. But then again, that's their personal opinion.
I
We
know.
don't know exactly what CAS will do at the end of the day,
because
but that's what they think. Some also think that Senegal have a case, but just like a lot of people thought,
opinion
that Nigeria had a case,
Yes, against Morocco.
against
Congo,
DR Congo.
Then technically we lost out.
We lost it.
So, I mean, the technicality in it is what I'm not. When you don't have awareness of article, this article, I don't have time to read all that. When it comes out like this, it's just a pity that it happens to Morocco because I mean the host nation always have a upper hand in this AFCON. You check the history now, the host nation always have a upper hand to win it. So this one at this age, at this time, it fell to Morocco's hands.
Look, a lot of people talk about undue influence coming from Morocco.
Yeah.
As far as CAF is concerned, hosting everything that's available to host
because
on the
they have
African
the
continent.
infrastructure.
But I also remember at some point, Etim, that a lot of people complained about South Africa hosting everything for CAF
Because they have infrastructure.
because they have the infrastructure. And so I really don't really buy some of these narratives
I know what you mean.
about influence coming from certain countries. At some point as well, Nigeria was hosting every WAFCON.
That's right.
So when you have the ability and the influence,
Infrastructure.
why can't you use it to your advantage?
I know. And they did very well. Semi-finals in the World Cup. It's not easy. For every African to attend that feat, it might take a little while. So for that, give it to Morocco. But
why do you think, because you mentioned Morocco getting to the semi-finals and, they really did well at the World Cup. Ghana also on the verge of getting to the semi-finals as well.
Before
Senegal have done well. Cameroon. Why is it that all of these nations have done better than Nigeria at the world stage, despite the predictions
that we had
coming from experts?
I think because these people, the grassroots, like you said, the grassroots, these people muscle their grassroots and then have a long-term plan. How many coaches have we changed since we not qualify for World Cup? This one will come take us shine. After I reach final AFCON, one country go. I even hear says one country won't take Chile for make it go now. People get what? You understand? Nigeria shouldn't be a Super Eagles shouldn't be a stepping stone platform.
Yeah.
For if a coach is, coaches now, if you have a big name, you are out there doing big things, and you come here, nobody will argue. But not from Algeria, you come here and then it's from Mali.
Sad.
If Keshi was alive to see this, he would be I know he would be very, very sad in the grave. Keshi, may so rest in peace. I think he was the only one that had passion, that wanted good for this country's football.
Let's talk about, just briefly, your playing days. Who did you enjoy playing with in the midfield when you were with the national team?
Wow. Ademola Adesina. Remember Ademola
Yes,
Adesina?
I do.
Friday Ekpo. The Zico of our own time. I think Thompson Olea, the workaholic. I think those are the three midfielders I enjoy playing with.
Who was your greatest defender you ever played against? The very best.
Wow. 10-10 on Mokaro and Sunday Boybe. Those two.
Omokaro here was a beast.
My brother, they will
You
tear
could
your
never
soul.
get past him.
Aye. If you get past him, they will use one Benin. I can't.
Meaning
This
what?
one go say, leave her for me. And the boy, those two defender, national team and Nigerian bank, they were solid. They were solid. They were solid.
Bright Omokaro was a 10-10.
10-10. He come out, give a red card. He come out one other player. That's how the 10-10 came into play. So that the game was balanced.
Balance, yeah.
Right.
Who was the best ever striker that you played with or you saw playing for the national team?
Yakini. Single-handedly took us to 94 World Cup. No doubt. He was that determined, that I think I can see a little Osimhen, a little Yakini in Osimhen.
So you're saying that he's nowhere near Yakini as we speak?
I don't think so, because Yakini was with a camp, with a, how would I put it? With a disciplined, calm mind. But Osimhen is not with a disciplined, calm mind. Is that a Jegunle? That grass street level still there for pitch. But if you can have somebody who can just guide him. I know his youthful exhaust is there. With the kind of money they are making, you can't. If you go there, your body, you go buy Lamborghini, you go wait till you want buy house, but wait till you want. But at a long run, how will the outcome be? You think of your future, you think of your retirement, you think of all that. So I think if he surrounds himself with a good crew, not psychophants.
Yes.
Because when you are a star, everybody hates him. Everybody will hail you. Some hails you to kill you. Some hails you for your progress. So try and learn those who hails you for your progress than those who hails you for your
I just want to read something that somebody wrote about Victor Osimhen on social media a couple of days ago. I just want to get your comments on what he wrote. He says, "How dare you buy a 3 billion naira house when you've done nothing for the less privileged? You don't even know how to spend your money properly." This is somebody posting his thoughts on social media.
Thank God he bought a property worth 3 billion. In the next 1 year, 2 years, that property will worth 5 billion. If it's a car or the Velocity, I wouldn't have even bothered. A car will come, another one will come, another one will come, another one will come. But to invest 3 billion in a property, I think that makes sense. To me, it makes sense. Because that property in the next 2 years, 3, property business, globally, you don't lose.
So you think it's irresponsible for players or anybody who makes money to spend all of that buying exotic cars?
Car, I might not be, because it happens to me with cars. But cars, I might not be interested in any car anybody buy. But for property, I give Osimhen a thumb up. But for car, no. Because we buy cars too. We use all of my money went in buying cars. Blah blah blah. Where are the cars today?
Are you envious of today's footballers? Because the kind of money that these youngsters are making,
it's outrageous. Weekly wages is madness, man. See a small boy making 400,000 pounds quid a week. Then sign on fee like 15 million a year. 3 years contract, $45 million. Jesus Christ.
Are they worth it, actually? Are they worth it?
The way the market goes, if Osimhen had an opportunity to go to World Cup now and perform well for Nigeria, it's all this in 120 million. Where you go up to 180, even 200 million. That boy can be if it was on after World Cup he performed, could have been the highest striker any club would want to buy in this world. But this World Cup, you are not. World Cup. Emunike went to World Cup, score a goal. That's why Okocha too didn't really sign for a big team. Because on a big stage, I'm not trying to criticize him. 3 World Cup, he never scored 1 goal. If you could have, to score goal for World Cup, no easy, my brother.
Olise scored at the World Cup.
Didn't he play for Juventus?
Yeah, he did.
Play for big team?
Yeah.
So that was what they did. They looked for Okocha. All those things you were doing, it's only Brazilian, Argentine they do have. You as an African, they do all that. You won't go to, because I spoke with him. He said all this, man, no mind. Say now because then they want undercut the payment. Yes, they will undercut your payment because the goals they need from you, you will not. Your own is to entertain. You can entertain the whole world, but you would not give the club the winning trophies they want.
Yeah. How difficult is it for an African footballer to go to Europe and perform? Because this is my thoughts, and it could be different. You guys have been there.
Yeah.
You know, as an African playing in European football, you've got to be at least 3 times better than the man who's playing in that same position.
Definitely,
Yeah?
definitely. You have to be. There must be something special about you. They have to. Look at Weah now. Look at after Weah, Dembele. I don't know where he's from. Can't win world footballer. After George Weah, who else?
You think Dembele is not worth it?
I don't
shouldn't have won.
I don't know.
You don't think?
Don't get me wrong. At least he got it as a black guy. I appreciate it. But
Yeah.
in terms of that creativity, high standard play, a legend, a Ballon d'Or should accomplish. I don't think like that one for Man City where they give to
Rodri.
Those two.
You disagree with Rodri?
Of course, totally. totally. But that doesn't mean that's my opinion. That doesn't
No,
mean,
but I think from an attacking player's perspective,
Yeah.
you seem to favor more of attacking players winning.
Then that's where I'm coming from. I favor more attacking than defensive player to win it. But it's good. It's good. I think the next generation should really sit down and football. They say football no know pump sometimes. My brother, I don't know who pump you.
Our time is up, really, Etim. We
thanks
could
a
sit
lot.
here talking so long
That
and
makes
talking about
sense.
a lot.
I really
But I've
appreciate
got to ask you this before we leave. The best goalkeeper this country has ever had would be who, in your opinion?
Because I'll play along with my era. I think Dodo Mayana.
Mayana.
Peter Rufai. We played together in Belgium. Lucrin. He was with me in Lucrin, Super Eagles together. So that's my era. Other people might have their own go. Rigo go there. Rico. All the great Inyama. All the great hands. Inyama now wasn't my era, but it's my brother. After Rufai, I will go for Inyama.
Okay.
Inyama colleague might pick Inyama ahead of Rufai. But Rufai was my colleague, so I picked Rufai ahead of
Okay, so the teams that won AFCON for Nigeria, 1980, 94, 2013. Which team do you most favor? Which one do you think really stands out as the best of the lot?
Wow, I think 94.
94.
Because from that 94 too, we made it to World Cup for our very first time. Apart from that, I give it to the 80. Because they are the one that opening all the young footballers in this country to have a dream of playing football. Had it been they didn't want that 1980 AFCON. So I think 80 and 94.
Okay.
Then Keshi crowned it all 93 as an indigenous coach.
Okay, so it's 94, 80, and then 2013.
13.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Nice
Etim
having
Esin.
me on
Thank
your
you so
channel.
much.
I really
Thank you so
appreciate
much.
that time.
We'll keep
Now
in
you know the
touch.
depth that I played for Shooting Stars.
Yeah, now I know. Now I know. I'm sure our viewers know as well.
That I played. Nice having me on your channel.
All right, so that's been Etim Esin, whose name also is John, yeah?
That's
Etim
right.
John
John
Esin,
Esin,
yeah?
welcome.
The African Maradona right here for us on the Playzone podcast. I do hope you enjoyed the session. And of course, next week or next time that we come your way, we'll have yet another hero right here on the Playzone podcast. Thank you for watching. My name is Charles Anazodo.
Welcome to the Playzone Podcast.